For the first time in 2023, it is time to go sprinting in Azerbaijan as well. 17 laps ahead of the drivers, a total of 100 kilometres as well. And afterwards, we won't have a pole sitter like in the past. We'll have our first official sprint race winner of the season. 10 points on the board. Will Max Verstappen extend his lead at the front, or can any of the others of the likes of Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso use this opportunity to close up? The first of 6 sprints events is moments away. Let's take a look at the Drivers and the Constructors' Championship. Formula One now returns from sprint break, and we're here in Azerbaijan, Baku, for the first sprint race. It's round 4 of the season and Red Bull domination is strong. 2 for Verstappen, 1 for Perez. Now we're in a double header with Azerbaijan and Miami back to back. Then a week's break before we go over to Emilia-Romagna. Then the following weekend we're in Monaco. The following weekend with a triple header we're in Spain. Then a week's break before Canada. Another 2-week break before then Austria and Silverstone back to back. A week break, then we're in Hungary and Belgium as well to take us to the summer break. Double header in the Netherlands and Italy, then over as well to Singapore and Japan back to back. Then we go over to Qatar, United States, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi rounding out the season. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads by 15 points to Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso is 24 back. If both Red Bulls fail to score here and Alonso wins, he will be the championship leader. Helped out, of course, with the sprint race. Lewis Hamilton is on 4th position with 38 points. Carlos Sainz 5th. Stroll, Russell, Norris, Hulkenberg and Leclerc round out the top 10. As Lando Norris said, he's got more points than Ferrari, and McLaren have had a terrible start to the season. On the second page, Valtteri Bottas on 4 points, the same as Ocon, Piastri and Gasly. Then Zhou Guanyu and Yuki Tsunoda with Kevin Magnussen and Alexander Albon round out the points. No points on the board still, though, for Logan Sargent and Nick de Vries, who's had one of the worst starts to a career ever in his long motorsport career. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull already have a 58-point lead over Aston Martin. They will leave here as Constructors still leading the way. Then we get Mercedes in 3rd, just ahead, big massively by Ferrari, McLaren, Alpine, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri, and then Williams with points means all 10 teams do have points going after the first 3 rounds. It's the first F1 sprint of 2023 here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's take a look around the Baku city circuit here in Azerbaijan. 3.730 miles, 20 turns in total, the longest straight in the history of Formula One. It's fast, it's challenging, the drivers love it. Get a good run all the way down the back straight away. Already a max RPM as you cross the control line down towards turn number 1. Hit the brakes, drop all the way down, 3rd gear corner. Tight right left as you go straight down. 90-degree corners straight up as well for you as you come through turn 2. Now it's the first DRS zone opening up. 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th gear and 8th gear once again. This is your prime opportunity to overtake. Usually the inside line is a great way to look at it. Slamming the brakes down again. 3rd gear corner into another left and then the first right of the lap time as well. 4 90-degree corners in the opening stages of this racing lap. Now you head away from the new city towards the old city, and the curves begin to come into the circuit as well. This is where the track narrows down as well, alongside the 4 lanes as well, becomes into 2 lanes and a single file traffic as you come into the old city. Now the famous castle section as well, a single line up through the curves as well. Don't clip the barrier, otherwise it'll block the track. We're looking forward to that race later on. Coming now out of through turns 10, 11, 12 and 13 as well. Flat out segments of the track. No DRS in this section, but it is quite challenging, quite fun. Then the trickiest part of the track, downhill braking zone, so easy to lock up, run straight towards the barrier. 3rd gear corner, rise up into 6th gear as well, flick the car down all the way. 3rd gear, another 90-degree left before the straight continues. Turns 19 and 20 come up now as well. Flick the car between the barriers as well at top speed and RPM, then just keep it in a straight line. Open up the DRS in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are straight down across the line. And that is a lap at the Baku City Circuit in Azerbaijan.
What, streaming?
Hello everyone, welcome to the sprint race for Formula 1, and everything's a bit up in the air because we're trying to do 7 things at once right now. Sky have gone to an ad break, Megan's here, but right now I'm going to hand over to Jess and Josh to take you through the pre-show, and Megan's going to control the volume. Jess, you've only got to talk for about 2 minutes, that's fine, I'll hand over to you now.
So, welcome to the sprint race. It's not a qualifying we are used to. We already had the qualifying on Friday. We've got myself and Josh T take you through the action with Joshua Birch later on. But, yeah, so we'll talk about the sprint qualifying that happened this morning, which was a sprint shootout. Charles Leclerc on top again, but this time Perez is on the front row instead of Charles Leclerc.
Everything is confusing, isn't it, Jess? New formats, it's just so confusing, and we're just having to roll with it, let's say.
Yeah, we're having to roll with everything right now. Sky's on an ad break at the moment, so that's why we're having to speak a little bit as well. But there was a red flag at the beginning of Q1 as well, which that meant that Logan Sargent's car was broken. It was up in the air on whether they were going to take part in beginning of the sprint. There was a bot that revealed that Logan Sargent will be withdrawn from the sprint race, so he will no longer be taking part. 19 car grid. Esteban Ocon will be starting in the pit lane, so the order's changed quite a bit. But it's a shame for Williams, isn't it? Because their car was looking quite good.
Yeah, it really is. Williams always perform at this track, and I've just realised it is MCC Day, so I'm quite excited.
If you're wondering what MCCC Day is, guys, it's Minecraft. So there we go. But yeah, so we've got obviously 19 cars on the grid, which is going to be quite exciting. But obviously, it's a 30-minute race, I believe, for the sprint. So and those points get added to the championship, but it doesn't decide the grid for tomorrow. Friday's qualifying decided the grid for tomorrow. So basically, they could go all for it. But let's just hope we don't see what happened in F2 at the end of it.
Which was absolutely chaos, and we've had quite a lot of...
Sorry guys, I've got to stop here because the pit lane is about to
Here's Ted to explain.
By the Mercedes F1 team's high standards, the last year and a half has, competitively speaking, been a living nightmare. 25 races since the start of last season. How many Grand Prix wins? Just the one. This drop in form coincided with F1's new rule set, which came in at the start of 2022, which Mercedes failed to master.
Is Lewis managing or is he slow? I feel like I've got a bit more patience. Struggling.
But it also coincided with a change in the team's technical management, when longtime technical director James Allison was promoted to chief technical officer to allow the team's highly rated aerodynamicist Mike Elliott, here on the right, to move up to technical director. But it hasn't worked out anywhere near as well as either would hope. Both last year's W13 and this season's W14 have been compromised by miscalculations, flawed theories, and unexpected consequences. Not all of the mistakes were Elliott's, but he presided over the cars, and in the course of figuring out how they got everything so wrong, Mike Elliott himself has concluded that he's not the right man for the technical director job. This isn't the way these things normally pan out in Formula One. Mike Elliott hasn't resigned, he hasn't been demoted. It doesn't really feel like he's been held accountable for the performance or otherwise of his cars. Instead, he's been promoted to the role of Chief Technical Officer. The previous CTO, James Allison, has come back down to Technical Director. So how does that work then?
Mike is better at thinking long term. Mike is better at working out where the long-term structural weaknesses in the organisation is, in the technologies are. He thinks more strategically than I do. I'm a bit more of a sort of blunderer around of applying lots of enthusiasm in the short term, and I'm relatively good as a hype man and getting the people in the factory pumped up for a fight. And you know, those are the sort of characteristic differences between us, which mean that I'm possibly a bit more suited to the technical director role, which feels the call of the current car much more strongly than the CTO role, which is preparing us for the wars to come.
So how do the drivers feel about the job swap?
Having James now there working alongside Mike, I think will only help us in a positive manner. I think Mike's been doing already such an amazing job, and I think collectively with everyone else back at the factory, it's going to take the next few months for us to really start to see the magic work on this car, and yeah, I'm excited about it.
Mike is one of, if not the most intelligent bloke I've ever come across in my life, but I think placing him in this new role will really put him in his element.
So what are the three takeaways? 1, James Allison is back, and that's a good thing. He's an old school engineer, a great leader of men and women, who in turn would do anything for him. 2, rather than scapegoating Mike Elliott and risk losing him to a rival team, Toto Wolff has delivered on his famous no-blame culture and found a position better suited to Elliott's talents. And finally 3, don't expect the job swap to return Mercedes to winning ways immediately. If Allison and his team get it right, next year, 2024 is the earliest, Lewis and George will have a car capable of challenging for the World Championship. But the move should also help Lewis feel more optimistic as he prepares to sign a contract renewal with Mercedes.
Toto Wolff is with us now. Toto, just talking within that piece about obviously the job swap within your technical department. James calling himself a hype man. I'd say he's a bit more than just a hype man. But can you put a bit more flesh on the bones about why the decision was made and what you think both players, if you like, bring to the team?
What's a hyper man?
A hype man, you know, a guy who gets everybody up for things. That's what he's talking about.
Well, he's certainly absolutely inspirational and a natural leader, and has been in the job for a long time, so he has the credibility. You know, it's good that he's able to come back full time, which was not the case a few years ago. And I think the job swap that we made, the rotation, is like really putting both of them, Mike and James, in their sweet spot. And sometimes you just need to find out.
And, you know, for those at home, and even for us, between Chief Technical Officer, Technical Director, really how big of a change is this? Because they're both in your team, they both are significant figures, but how much of a difference is this actually going to make?
So, a simple explanation, the technical director is the one, the gladiator on the field, who is fighting with his troops. The CTO is Caesar on the horse, overlooking the field and giving the strategic decisions and direction, and that's Mike.
How much did Lewis have to do with the decision, Toto?
No, that's a team decision. It has nothing to do with the drivers or anybody else. It's literally Mike and James talking of what would be the best for this organization, and then they came and said, "We thought about that. What is your opinion?"
Does it actually highlight that you're kind of stuck a little bit if you're having to bring back people you've had great success with Allison, James Allison? You know, was he waiting in the wings to come back in, or was he off going sailing and you've dragged him back?
So his life situation changed a lot because he has a new partner since a few years now, Chloe, who's a wonderful little lady who came from Switzerland, and she settled with James. And I guess at that stage he couldn't say, well, by the way, I'm gonna be off 25 weeks a year. And he's in a superb position now personally, and I think he has scope to travel more and do it. So life circumstances changed. Mike was the automatic leader, technical director, and then we felt that the two swapping positions and James in his new life situation would work.
Now, we know you guys have got really big upgrades coming in Imola, but how quickly are we going to see that difference on track? With that change in your team, how quickly is that going to reflect on track?
You have to be very careful in making predictions that within a race of upgrades, you're going to beat the Red Bulls. That's, you need to learn the package and then improve constantly. So this is, as long as the trajectory is positive and we are able to outperform in terms of development, Red Bull, outdevelop, then we're on a good trajectory.
Thank you, Toto. Appreciate it. We'll let you go and enjoy the sprint, if indeed, as one of the bosses, you can enjoy the sprint with all the risks that it entails around here. Certainly, we're hoping for some exciting racing this afternoon. We get underway in around about half an hour's time. Pit lane open for business in a couple of moments' time.
From F1 to Q1, prepare to shift at the speed of change. Formula One on Sky Sports, sponsored by Workday, a finance and HR system.
Leaving a gift in your will to Cancer Research UK is a pledge that helps fund a third of our work, like vital research that creates moments like this.
There is nothing there. This cancer has melted away with chemotherapy, okay?
That's good news.
Thousands have made their pledge. Join them and help us to beat cancer for future generations.
It's amazing.
And together, we will beat cancer.
At William Hill, we get the value of football, the value of the players, the value of the win.
It's never gonna happen. You need more goals.
The value of your bet. This season, we're giving you our best value ever with William Hill's epic.
Back, and we got Ocon that's going to be starting in the pit lane. We're gonna pick our pick of winners for the sprint race. Actually, who do you think's going to do well in the sprint?
Well, I've got Charles Leclerc. He starts from pole. He's got a good chance if Ferrari don't mess up. But yeah, Charles Leclerc. What about you, Jess?
I'm gonna go for a barn goal one. I'm gonna go for George Russell. Because he's starting fourth. He's going to get a good toe compared to everybody else in turn one. Maybe Hamilton as well, if he doesn't have brake magic issues like he did a few years ago, not going to lie. But, that was quite interesting to watch at the end of the day. 2022, we saw Sergio Perez take the win. 21 was Verstappen or Leclerc, I can't remember the other way around. And we saw Vettel on the podium one year as well, which is great to see. And Alonso starting 8th. Aston Martin's not looking that this weekend with them 8th and 9th. Do you think it's the development that's lacking a little bit? Maybe did they use all their development resources too early?
Yeah, well, one thing to remember that there has been no repeat winner at Azerbaijan ever in the history of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo won the race in 2017. Lewis Hamilton won the race in 2018. Bottas 2019. Then 2020 it wasn't held due to the COVID. And then 2021 was Perez. 2022 was Verstappen. So, will Verstappen break the curse tomorrow, or will it be someone else like Fernando Alonso? It is Megan's 18th birthday after all.
And it's a bit of a shame she's not here much tomorrow, because she would have jumped right in the box to call the race winner if it was Fernando Alonso. So
I am if it happens.
Yeah, Megan
I'm
will
going to have it on in the
definitely.
background.
Oh, good. That's great to see. So if there's always the rule at JB Motorsports. If Alonso crosses the line as the winner, none of us get to call it. Megan does. And if anyone breaks that rule, she'll get very, very mad. So
I will hunt people down.
Yeah, and it's the same with George Russell as well. If George Russell wins, and if I'm in the box, I get to call it. End of story. Because I like
Agreed.
George Russell. George Russell was one of my favourite drivers. End of, and I was gutted that he got knocked out of Q2 yesterday. But he had a good sprint shootout, which is great. I believe we are going to head back to Sky. So let's head back to Simon.
In the sky here in Baku, 5 o'clock local time, the sound of engines firing up. We're not far away from the first sprint race of 2023. Here's Ted.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, we are definitely not far away. The pit lane has just exploded into life. We've had 2 meaningful sessions so far, 2 qualifying sessions. I think it's time for a race. 18 drivers on the grid, 1 starting from the pit lane, Esteban Ocon, and 1 not starting at all, Logan Sargent. They felt there was too much damage to his car. They wanted to get the car ready for the Grand Prix tomorrow. That's where the points are going to be paid out. But it's Charles Leclerc's race to lose. There is DRS. Ferrari know that they are vulnerable to Red Bull on the DRS, but that doesn't mean they're going to give it a try. And let's not forget, Ferrari have not been on the podium at all so far this year. The best finish has been Carlos Sainz with a P4, so they just want to get on the podium. Obviously, they want to win and the 8 points that go with it, but they want to be on the podium altogether. I just see coming through the pits, there is Esteban Ocon just settling into his pit box. Hillsby stopping there. Pierre Gasly has made his way to the grid, but as we've seen in these sprint races, anything can happen, and it usually does. So, all ready for this one, Simon?
Yeah, we are indeed, and now we're out at the front of the grid. I suppose it's not the narrowest of tracks. When it comes to street tracks, it's actually quite a wide one, particularly on this section here. It gets narrow as we get up towards the old town. We know that. How do they play it, those at the front today? How would you play it? Would you kind of balance the caution, or are they just racing drivers that are just going to go hell for leather?
Well, I mean, you've got 200 metres down to the first, very short sprint down to turn 1. It funnels into a very narrow corner, and you've got to protect. If you've got in there first, if Charles Leclerc has got in there first, he's got to protect his inside line going into turn 2. Once he's out of turn 2, he's probably all right for the rest of the lap. And then we've only got 1 lap before the DRS opens. He might even, if Max or Sergio gets behind him onto turn 16, onto this straight, they might even slipstream past him already without the DRS. But so he's got to get a big break from right up to the end of this lap.
Is it slightly different for Max than in the others? I mean, yes, it's only early in the season. It is 15 points, but he's leading the championship. He said all along, I'm prioritising Sunday.
Which makes a lot of sense, and you've got to think about it this way. Yes, there are 8 points up for grab today, but if, let's say, Max and Sergio finish first and second in this race, that's only 1 point's difference between the 2 of them. So that's all there really is for them to gain here. But again, like as we were discussing off camera just now, if they're just fighting for the quickest lap in the race, just for that 1 point, if they do it then why wouldn't they do it here? So it's going to be interesting to see how they play it. I think, you know, hopefully Charles will be able to bring the battle to them a little bit, but I think they'll get away quite quickly, and then I think the team will prioritize finishing the race so that they can be on the grid tomorrow safely.
Let's also have a word about one of the other big stories from the sprint shootout, and actually he's consistent, isn't he, Alex Albon this year? He's very, very good on a Saturday. He's pretty decent on a Sunday too. Very strong in a straight line, the Williams.
Yeah, it's a slippery car, and in some ways it looks very like the Mercedes in the side pod design and everything. And for a while we thought that they'd gone down the wrong route as well. But they've done something good to the chassis, I think, on this car, because it seems to have the grip it needs in the slow corners without the need for downforce. But it hasn't got the I don't think the ultimate maximum downforce it will need for circuits like Barcelona coming up.
Is it the green for your old team, Damon? Is it the green green shoots of recovery, do you think, for Williams? We're beginning to see it. We know that there was a big leap between what the car was like at the end of last season and this year.
There's something fundamentally good there, isn't it? If it can qualify up there in the top 10, and Alex Albon is doing a great job.
Yeah, and let's not forget, if we look back at Australia, Alex was running fantastically within the points there before he went off. So I think there's a lot of potential there. He's clearly a very solid driver. He always, brings it. Whenever he's in that car, he's pushing it, and we've seen him in battles as well. He's aggressive. So it's good to see that they finally have a car under them that can work. And unfortunate once again, that Logan Sargent isn't able to get the most out of it here at a track where that car is really working.
Yeah, to say he was irked about putting in the wall would be an understatement. He takes no part in the sprint this afternoon. They've decided they want to get the car ready and not risk any further damage ahead of the Grand Prix. Let's go to the Sky Pad. Karun is there to have a look at the start.
Thank you, Simon. The top three for today's sprint is exactly the same as the grid was last year. Charles Leclerc on pole, Checo Perez alongside, and then his teammate Max Verstappen behind him. Now, the two cars on the clean side of the grid there, Leclerc and Verstappen, got a better getaway, but Max had nowhere to go. Checo covered it off. And when they got down to the first corner, it was Leclerc who had to lock up and then drifted off to the dirty part of the track on the outside and just opened the door for Perez to take the lead. Now, it's the shortest run to the first corner here, just 138 meters. So the battle tends to carry on to turn 2. Back in 2017, the two Finnish drivers, Kimi Räikkönen in the Ferrari and Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes, both chased that same apex at the same time, made contact, and ended up colliding and sending one of them into the wall. The two Force Indias also made contact on a restart, riding on board with Perez on that occasion. Esteban Ocon gave him a bit of a squeeze, and Perez gave him a little wave, but to no avail. Obviously, both cars damaged there, and if your teammate is lining up alongside you, you do need to give them a bit more space, especially at turn 2. Overtaking here is going to be quite a frequent thing. I think we see the straight from turn 16 to turn 1 is 2.2 kilometers. I know it's not fully straight, but as far as the drivers are concerned, it's flat out. We see some big slipstream moves here, and also the effect of the DRS, although it is 100 meters shorter. This was Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull, behind Carlos Sainz's Toro Rosso and Marcus Ericsson's Sauber. And on that occasion, you could just see the effect of a double toe, a double slipstream, giving Ricciardo the opportunity to go past both cars into turn 1. And I think we're going to see plenty of that today and tomorrow in the Grand Prix.
Yep, let's hope so. George Russell out-qualifying his teammates in the sprint shootout. That's kind of 4-1, I suppose, because in qualifying yesterday, for the first time in a normal qualifying session, Lewis Hamilton ahead of George Russell. 20 minutes to go until the start, just over that. Let's go to Ted and to Bernie.
Thank you very much, Simon. Yes, so many stories on this grid to look into, and Bernie, on the grid, we like to pick up on the technical aspects that are going to influence the race, but someone who's going to be in the race, and we haven't spoken too much about, is Alex Albon, and he's going to start P7. And this is one of the great stories. P7, I think, is a fantastic result. Just talking to James, his engineer, so let's see, Bernie, if we can just have a quick word. And fantastic, that's a lovely, oh, cool suit, nice.
Yes, it's quite warm.
It's quite hot.
Yeah, it is. Not Miami spec, but it's still warm, yeah.
Congratulations on P7. How was that in qualifying earlier?
Good, really good. I felt like it was pretty much obviously the best we could have achieved with what we had. I felt like, just through something different, and I felt like we got on top of it over everyone else. So it's going to be hard work to keep these Astons behind, but let's see.
Yeah. Well, you're saying hard work to keep the Astons behind. This engineer has a point to make for you about
well,
that.
it's interesting with their DRS issues. We obviously don't know if they fixed it across the session or they would have tried to fix it for sprint qualifying. So that maybe gives you a little bit in hand with that.
I mean, if we lose the DRS, which we likely will to the cars in front, it's still an outright slipstream behind us. It's what is this? Over a kilometre straight that we have here. So normally they should be almost a second a lap quicker than us, which if they're 3/10 behind us coming out the last corner, 4/10 behind us, they're still coming past. So on paper, with their DRS working, they're the same as us down the straights. Actually, we're not that quick on the straights this weekend. We're pretty much mid-pack. We've just been actually quite good in the corners as well this weekend. So let's see.
Well, starting in a points position, good luck.
Brilliant. Good luck, Alex. He doesn't have to worry if they haven't. I'll be positive for him, shall I, Bernie? If the Aston Martin's DRS still isn't working, and we believe it's not, right? It's still intermittent.
Yeah, exactly. I think when those guys, they would have tried to solve the issues in between the sessions or Friday night. They've obviously not got on top of it. Intermittent throughout the whole of the sprint qualifying shootout.
Yeah.
So we have to think that they're not, either don't have the parts to resolve the issue or not totally clear on what the issue is. So there's still a risk for them, I think, in this session.
Okay, Bernie, explain to me this. How, in the name of all that is great and good on this earth, did Charles Leclerc manage to out-qualify Max Verstappen this year? Not once, but twice.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you look at some of the overlays of their data. The Ferrari is strong in the low-speed corners, and this circuit obviously features a number of low-speed corners. So when you look at some of the corners, for example, the final corner before the straight, they're 4 to 5 kph quicker in that corner. So that gives them already a starting point at the straight, And all the way down the straight until the DRS zone, they're actually very much Red Bull's straight line speed. So doing better in the corners and up until the DRS on the straight as well.
Okay, Bernie, brilliant. We will hear from you throughout the sprint race and throughout the Grand Prix tomorrow. But Simon, I don't know, the greatest sprinters of all time, Jesse Owens, Michael Johnson, Carl Lewis, yourself, Usain Bolt, Charles Leclerc, you want to add that to them?
No, I could not sprint. That was definitely not a forte. Right, Christian Horner's with me. You've got second and third. How much of an advantage do you have with your speed when the DRS is wide open, do you think?
Well, from what we've seen this weekend, Ferrari have made a good step in straight line speed, and I think that it's been very, very evenly matched at end of straight. So they've looked very strong so far, this weekend, and I think, but nobody's done a long run yet. I think the longest long run was about 4 laps in P1. So this temperature could be a factor. We're about to find out.
It's an experiment. We know it's an experiment this weekend with the format. How do you think it's playing out? Having, you said it's going to be quite expensive for a number of teams coming into the weekend.
Well, of course, it's the first time, so everything is a bit different. It's a learning process, but I certainly think having a qualifying, earlier today rather than a session where we're just burning fuel and rubber, made more sense. And what it also means that today, the Saturday, is almost a unique day because qualifying is already in the bank for tomorrow. So today is just effectively a bonus day, and whatever happens, we know where we're starting tomorrow.
I just want to pick you up on the DRS again because I think it's quite a topic this weekend. As you say, that Ferrari is pretty evenly matched to you guys, especially on a one-lap format. But, the speed traces that we have access to might not be quite as accurate as the ones that you have access to. But we're seeing almost 10 kilometers per hour difference once that DRS opens.
I wish we could see that.
Okay,
we're not seeing.
So that's good for you to confirm.
Seeing that much.
So what difference are you seeing?
I don't know, 2 to 3. It's not, when you look at the overlays on the GPS that all the teams have, it really isn't, and because they've taken 100 meters away before the DRS activation comes in. So for sure, I think DRS, if you're the following car, will have a decent advantage, but you're going to have to be close enough out of that last turn.
For sure. Christian, team boss talk to the drivers. What do you say to them, if you say anything, to this sort of event? Because is it a game of basically just being there at the end? And
I think it's a survival game in this one. So you've got to. We did so far the first 3 sessions have gone okay. We talked about it before the race. I mean, the Formula 2 race was carnage earlier today, and it shows how quickly things can go wrong. So there's a lot to lose on a day like today and not a huge amount to win. So it's a matter of being there at the end, particularly at this track with the car in one piece.
Are the FIA going to keep on shortening DRS zones to peg you back, do you think? Or is that
maybe we'll get rid of them altogether. I don't know, but I mean, it was very powerful here, obviously, in previous years. I think it will still be powerful, but let's see in the race.
Okay, top man, thanks, Christian. We'll get back to it. Let's hear from Max Verstappen.
We're about to do the first sprint of the season, Max. How are you feeling? I know you've got your teammate in P2 and Charles in P1. How do you win this today, do you think?
Just being patient, I think. Still quite a long race on these tires. Of course, the temperatures will help a bit, even compared to like tomorrow, right? How they will behave, but we'll just try to have a good race, to be honest.
Your straight line speed and your DRS advantage could really play into your hands today, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a few things. Top speed, maybe a little bit with DRS, but also just tire behavior. A lot of things can happen.
Thank you. Go well. Thanks, Max.
Okay, let's get the views of Fred Vasseur. Right, you've got a pole position in a sprint race, the first of the year. How are you going to keep these two Red Bulls behind you today?
Let's see, for sure it will be a challenge. I still have an advantage in terms of top speed. Even a bit more with the DRS. But let's see what's happened. You know, Baku is a long one that first you have to close lap 1 and to see what is the gap at the end of lap 1. It's always a challenge. But at least we had a very strong pace in quali, on both quali for the sprint race and the long one. And I think it's a good a new start of the season for us.
Well, Fred, it's your 4th race with the team, and it's great to see Ferrari back on an upwards trajectory, back at the front of the grid to fight those Red Bulls and the other teams. How realistic is the pace that there is in this car? Because we're seeing a fantastic one-lap pace. The race pace has not been the forte so far. It's getting better, but are we going to see you at the front of the grid some more?
On the long stint, I think we had a very decent pace in Melbourne on the last one. I can't give you more numbers on this weekend because I think the longest stint we did was 3 or 4 laps, but the 3 or 4 laps went well. That it means that for sure everybody is a bit blind, but it's the same for everybody, and let's try to push on the sprint race. It will be also the best preparation for tomorrow.
Fred, you got this sprint race, 17 laps, and then you've got 50 laps tomorrow. I mean, reliability, does that become a question? Because you're basically putting 2 races, you're extending the Grand Prix, in effect, on these cars.
Yeah, we are doing more mileage with this format on the full push version that on the normal one. But at the end of the day, that we are supposed to do 5 or 6 races with the engine and everything. That I'm considering much more the sprint race as a preparation for the second one, also for the tires and the usage of the tires, but no, it will be a challenge for sure.
Are you a fan of this format? You're trying, Fred, to play catch-up, obviously, to a very dominant Red Bull.
First, for sure, we are fun when it's going well. That you know that the other stupido. No, but I think it's much more dynamic, and for the fun, it's a good.
It's me this time. I'm helping you.
You're being haunted.
For the fun, it's exciting because that every single session is important, and it's true that the former FP2 was a bit boring, let's say. That I know I like the format.
Still believe you've got a chance for this year?
Sorry?
Do you still believe you're in with a shout for this year? Do you have to believe?
No, we have to take it race by race, but you know, we had the first 2 events were very difficult for us with a reliability issue and pace issue. I think from Melbourne, for sure Melbourne was not, in terms of points, was not the best one, but I think in terms of pace it went very well, and I hope that we'll be able to convert the pace in point this weekend.
Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it. We'll get back to it. Let's head back to Ted.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, just a reminder that this sprint race no longer sets the grid for Sunday's Grand Prix. It's now paying out points from 1st position to 8th. And that fight for the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th is going to be very, very keenly fought. Lando Norris's car got quite hot on the way to the grid and is just being cooled down quite aggressively by the McLaren mechanics here. So he's rounding out the top 10 with his teammate Oscar Piastri. Let's just give a quick look at Nico Hülkenberg. So right behind Lando Norris is Nico Hülkenberg. He got that P7 last time round. Here he is. He's just gone through his pre-race routine. Not going to disrupt him, but let's just see as he gets his balaclava on, his helmet is ready to go. How Haas F1 would love a few more points in the sprint race today, and just to keep the clean and get some more points tomorrow. Oscar Piastri starting 11th, Lando Norris 10th. And then we've got the Aston Martins, and I'm not seeing any more work on the drag reduction system. Here's Fernando Alonso, the man who's sprung so many surprises, been on the podium in all the Grand Prix we've had so far. Can he make it up to P3 today? I'm not sure, but that's the thing we're waiting to see whether it works. The drag reduction system, the movable rear wing flap, if that works, Alonso has a chance. Rachel.
Sergio, last time you were alongside Charles at the front row of this race, you got him into turn 1. Any thoughts of that for this today?
Yeah, it's always a new challenge. I wish it will be the same, but every race it's a new challenge. So yeah, I'm sure Charles will be very alert. So I'll try. Let's see.
You've also got some extra straight line speed, and DRS as well has got a big advantage for you around here. Are you going to have to be patient maybe then, and then use that?
Yeah, I think so.
We talk so often about Max Verstappen and this potentially this championship being a foregone conclusion. The man that's standing in his way is him, Sergio Perez. Do you think in his heart of hearts he believes over the course of the next 20 races he can take down the Dutchman?
If he can continue to be irritating, you know, if he can continue to be there, not slip out of touch with Max, then he's always going to be a factor. And from where I look at Max, is he doesn't like that. He really doesn't like someone being on his tail. It's a little bit Michael Schumacherish sometimes. You know, if he felt under threat, sometimes he looks a bit vulnerable.
Bernie obviously worked with him, Checo that is, at Force City. When we were talking to her last night, one of the things she said, knowing him personally, is just the resilience that he has. You know, he immediately, if he did badly in a session, he would bounce straight back up and he would say, okay, what are we going to do tomorrow? Is that something you see as a key trait for him?
Definitely, especially, you know, we've seen a lot of drivers come through that Red Bull camp and not withstand the pressure of Max Verstappen, and it really takes a driver that, you know, is not fazed by things to deal with that, and he's clearly dealing with it very well. But I have to say that for Max, it is quite a challenge, because although we have a Ferrari on the front row of the grid to this weekend, the moment that Red Bull is so dominant that actually, because no one is challenging them very much, it means that Sergio, at worst, will always almost be second. So that means he's always within a reaching distance of Max, and the points difference between the two of them are less likely to be bigger. So the pressure's on for sure.
I wonder if George Russell will be a factor today. Second row of the grid alongside Max Verstappen. Here he is.
George, you did a great job earlier on in that session, but how big is the task to get past the Red Bulls today?
I mean, that's always a challenge in F1 at the moment. I mean, they're just too fast. And the interesting one's going to be Charles and Carlos. They've always been very fast at this circuit, especially over a single lap. But this will be the interesting one, and then again into tomorrow. So I'll be pushing.
Go well. Thanks, George.
Okay then, who is going to be on the mediums? Who is going to risk it? Potentially on the softs a little bit further back. This is going to be all action. We know that. It is 100 kilometres. It is 17 laps. It is the first sprint of 2023. Gorgeous evening here in Baku. The sun is shining. It is hot on track here. On pole position for this first sprint is Charles Leclerc. Question is, can he keep the Red Bulls in behind? Don't go anywhere.
From F1 to Q1, speed and agility take pole position. Formula One on Sky Sports, sponsored by Workday, a finance and HR system.
I'm here. Hello. Sorry, everybody. Right, that was a very late changeover. You've been listening to adverts for a minute or two. Megan has taken over at MotoGP.
30 seconds.
Hello. Oh, it's only 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
Fastest I've ever run, guys. Fastest I've ever run. And, oh, that's you two. Let's get onto the battle screen, shall we? Hello, you two. Have I missed anything? Well, red flagged MotoGP kept me behind. Because that race has been stopped, so Megan's got 8 laps now to commentate on, and she's flying. Let's just take a little listen to Megan, actually, shall we? Because she is going all for it in the race. Here she is.
Of crashes, apparently. Turn 9 crashed at Nakagami, and I'm going to get a replay.
Well, yeah, that's Megan commentating on the race. But here we go then, it's time for the Formula One sprint to begin, and we had a little bit of a grace period, about, what was it, 5 minutes we had? Never mind, all gone. So Megan calls the end of that. I'll catch up later, and my thanks to everybody who's tuning in now to watch this Grand Prix. It is going to be epic, a sprint race like no other. And Jess, just quickly, right now, we've got 15. Megan's got 124. She swapped me for the better deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was at 99 when I last checked.
Well,
so it's gone up by 2.
Well, Megan's got the better.
Do I need to get a marker and cross the 0 out on the award for 100 soon?
Yeah, Megan's now hit 1,000. Anyway, it's time for us to begin, as it's time. The first F1 sprint of the year, 17 laps. We get 1 hour to do it. No DeFries. Ocon in the pit lane as well. You
mean Sargent?
That's the one. Here we go. ready to rock and roll? The first F1 sprint of 2023 is about to get underway. And we are here in Baku, the city of wind, and the fire reigns us right through the heart. We race around the new city and the old city. And we're slap bang in the middle, half in Europe, half in Asia. Azerbaijan provides the perfect crossover point as we return to European competition in 2023. 6.003 kilometres, 3.730 mile circuit, 17 laps ahead of us for the sprint today as well. Top speed, 351.8 kilometres an hour, 20 turns, elevation changes high, 26.96 metres per second as well. The fire is alive here as well for Azerbaijan. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. Here's the starting grid then for this race. From the back, in the pit lane, is Esteban Ocon. Then we get in 18th place is Nick de Vries. 17th on the grid, we'll see Pierre Gasly. 16th will be Yuki Tsunoda with Valtteri Bottas lining up in 15th. 14th on the grid as well, we'll see Zhou Guanyu ahead of Kevin Magnussen. And then in 12th, we'll see Nico Hülkenberg and Oscar Piastri. And the top 10 with Lando Norris starting 10th on the grid with no time after he wasn't allowed to set one in qualifying due to having no soft tyres. Lance Stroll is alongside him in 9th. Fernando Alonso is not leaving any blank spaces alongside him. He's 8th on the grid with Alexander Albon 7th on the grid. Lewis Hamilton is 6th with Carlos Sainz in 5th position as well, the highest Spanish driver on the grid. George Russell is in 4th position with Max Verstappen starting 3rd place on the grid. Front row though, it's Sergio Perez, the winner here in 2021, alongside the man who's been on pole position for every Azerbaijan Grand Prix since 2021, is on pole position once again for both the sprint and the main race of Charles Leclerc. Well, while Megan commentates on the MotoGP and is seemingly flying, that's her 18th birthday present sorted. Alongside me in the commentary box here, commentary box A for Formula One, with not many viewers, thanks to that red flag from MotoGP, sort of meaning I'm between jobs right now. But we're 17 laps ahead of us and an equally exciting prospect. Alongside me in the commentary box is our usual pit reporter, Josh Turner, and Jessica Ball joins us once again in the box. Jess, starting with you, thanks for hosting the pre-show as well. Did an amazing job. I was listening in one earphone as well. And now we're getting ready. 1 hour to complete this sprint race, 17 laps ahead of us. We're in for chaos, if anything to do with F2.
Let's just say, Josh, I think it's going to be longer than 30 minutes, I can tell you that. It's not going to be all green flags. I think there's going to be yellow flags everywhere, not going to lie. And, yeah, there could be some chaos for some drivers, but I think the further you starting up, like Charles Leclerc, for example, the better I think your start is going to be. But we have seen surprises that happen as well, and we are about to get underway. Of course, Max Verstappen starting 3rd, not his usual starting position, but he has won from 3rd here before, I believe.
Yep, won here last year as well from 3rd position. As away we go on the formation lap. This is the tyres available. Softness is the C5, medium C4, hard C3 as well. They're the tyre choice. It's a free tyre choice for the sprint as well. Josh, looks like everyone's heading away on mediums. I'm seeing 1 or 2 on softs. What have we got?
Yeah, everybody's starting on mediums except Norris and Bottas, who are on the soft tyres, so we'll keep an eye on that throughout the race. And instead of all 20 onboards, it's all 19 onboards as we have Logan Sargent.
They fixed that. Right, let's hear from Karun and David Croft just before we get going.
With the Sky ID, you can choose any of the 19 onboards and listen to the team radio too. And once you're there, head to the Sky Sports F1 channel, pick your favourite driver, and if you're a Sky Class, Sky Q or a Sky Stream customer, you can get the same experience via your interactive button on your remote control. And here's the format, as I mentioned, 17 laps, just over 100 kilometres, no mandatory pit stops, so if you're coming into the pits, then you've normally got a problem, and you score points, 8th for first, down to 1.48.
Yeah, so people at home might be wondering, as people in this paddock have been saying all weekend, what is the point of all these people who are outside the top 8 doing today's race? Well, you know what? They're racing.
It's a race. You've got to do it. And that was not a complete excuse because I left my water in commentary box B and had to go get it for commentary box A because I'm coughing. Yeah, so this is the last one. Megan is having a blast, by the way, guys. I've just went into her commentary box and she's going, there's a crash every lap. This is insane. It's all this. Look at this. I said they were going to do it and they've done. I think I'll just retire from MotoGP and let Megan take it. She's going all out.
Megan is absolutely flying today. Massive props to Megan, by the way, for covering the MotoGP all day. She's been really, really good. And she helped us for the end of the sprint shootout.
That's
as well.
it, yeah.
So, yeah. So, awesome job for keeping things going in the F1 whilst you were doing MotoGP as well.
I keep saying,
Few
Jess.
hiccups, but we got it
Yeah.
in the end, didn't we?
It was there.
So,
I keep saying we should get Megan on alongside me and Rich in the F2 for a race. It should be absolutely epic.
Yeah, we should.
She's done a few before,
breaking
actually.
news this
Go on.
morning that the Azerbaijan Grand Prix will stay on the F1 calendar until 2026. That includes the 2026 season.
So, another 3 races, but technically 4, because we've got one here as well with the sprint. And if it proves popular, it'll be a sprint destination in the future. Megan's now joking with the camera. I think we're in for a very interesting time when she gets going.
I think that's because she mentioned it when she went in the commentary box. I was listening. Megan's wearing green, and there's a green screen.
Yeah, she forgot.
See where that's going.
Yeah, she forgot, and that's why you can see her long hair is sort of over her shoulders. She's trying as much to remove the green, and that's why she looks a bit pasty, because she's forgot she's wearing a green top underneath her white shirt. So she's just trying to close it up. But I did change the settings, so hopefully she's okay. Oh, another one gone down as well. Megan's having fun. Okay, right. Well, let's have some fun here with MotoGP. Sorry, with Formula 1. See, I'm in the thing. Bernie Collins is trackside. What she's going to tell us?
For them. You know, Corinne mentioned they'd be keen to get past Albon, but they need to hold on to that position from Norris.
Well, it's 17 laps ahead of us for the sprint race. A race on a Saturday. The F2 was utter chaos as well. Everything exploding left, right, and centre. Are you ready for another run today? It is race 5 of the season coming up, but right now it's time for the sprint race. For the first time in 2023, we look to the lights, and they're not activating. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 lights in Azerbaijan. Action for the F1 sprint. Good start from Charles Leclerc. Good start from Sergio Perez. He defends. Lewis Hamilton going on the inside of Max Verstappen. Verstappen looking to yield. Verstappen nearly in the wall. They're rubbing wheels. And Hamilton has to back out. Russell's up there too. Russell's going side by side with Verstappen. Apologies. And they're going to make contact. And they touch. Hamilton, so Russell and Verstappen. It's instinct at this point. Making slight contact. And now Russell's alongside. And here comes. That is Carlos Sainz in the slipstream down towards turn 3. Perez and then more in the distance. And now Russell still holding him out. Verstappen nearly in the wall and touches the wall and loses a place to Carlos Sainz, who goes around the outside. Hamilton's getting involved in this little battle as well. Amazing start from George Russell. Max Verstappen is going to complain. Yep, complaining already. I think that was fair racing, Jess. What a start from Russell.
He's had good starts recently, hasn't he? And he's getting used to that Mercedes, because he's usually not good at starts usually. And obviously, since being in a top team, he's got used to it. So yeah, I thought it was fair racing as well. It was really hard wheel to wheel, and that's what I like as well. But Perez and Leclerc are absolutely flying at the moment. We just got a massive train elsewhere. Luckily, there was no other contact as well. A few other people making some places. Tsunoda, by the way, has dropped 2 places. De Vries and Gasly have gained 1. So has Russell, Alonso,
There's 2 seconds, Jeff.
Hold it, Max. These guys have got nothing to lose. Just remember that.
Track surface, slippery sectors.
That's how you got the position. Report it.
Yellow flag.
Yeah, yellow's out somewhere on the track. Not sure where.
Into the side.
Tsunoda's going very slow.
Yeah, Tsunoda, I think, is in double yellow, sector 15. Tsunoda has stopped. There's a loose wheel running down the hill. So where's the safety car?
Red flag.
Yeah, they should stop this, because that wheel's come off completely, and we haven't seen anything yet. Just a yellow flag. That wheel's come loose, and again, it's popped off the rim suspension. Tsunoda's out of the race. No sign of a safety car, no sign of a red flag at the moment to get this race under control. Yellow flag all sectors. There's somebody else off. Jess as well down at turn 3, so there's something wrong there that we're approaching now. And there's no sign of a safety car, there's no sign of a red flag. We've gone green in sector 1, and now there's a yellow again in sectors 1. As the field go through, what is happening? Why have we got this yellow? There's debris on the track. There's debris on the track. Well, this should really...
Why is there not a red flag? Come on, FIA.
Where's that wheel?
FIA were very slow in F2 as well. It was absolutely insane.
They say in their new reports they want to allow racing as long as possible, but there's a wheel in the middle of the track and there is no red flag, there is no safety car, there is no virtual safety car, and they're going to have to red flag this because we got a huge bit of debris right at the top of the hill at the fastest...
VSC.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's not going to do anything. They'll have to red flag this because it's in the fastest part of the track. What's happened? He's going to drift wide through 14, he's going to hit the wall. Yeah, he understeered. Simple.
Why is it only virtual?
Clear sector 13, clear sector 6, but there's a wheel.
Come on, why is there no red flag? I'm sorry.
That
I'm
is
really
so
sorry.
dangerous.
It was the same thing
Oh
that
my.
happened. Australia, a tyre fell off with Max Verstappen.
And that was a red flag. Yeah.
So there should be a red flag now. Come on.
This is...
Rant over.
It's so dangerous as well, especially I remember Henry Surtees as well, who lost his life at Brands Hatch due to a similar tyre coming loose and hitting him on the head.
Unless they got rid of the tyre already.
It's still there, we just saw it on the track.
It's still there.
And there is...
Tsunoda out of the race.
Is he?
Yeah, he's done the floor. I think Jess is right. They're not going to do this, are they? Yeah, look, I just saw...
Oh, no, they may be still going.
I saw a marshal go like that, one of the mechanics. Are they going to send him back out? No, I saw him go like that, the T sign. They're done. They're done.
Unlucky. He had a good qualifying yesterday, and now his race will come undone today. I don't know what will happen to the race tomorrow. Let's look at the start then on the helicopter shot.
Great.
So there. Sorry.
Go on, Jess. I was going to let you take it.
So George Russell then going side by side with Verstappen as well. He got a good start, starting from 4th position, but needed a Verstappen then. And then heading towards turn number 3, they pretty much Verstappen made contact with the wall. Verstappen thought it wasn't fair racing, but we thought it was fair racing. But
I
look
mean,
at that,
there's
it's in
a
the
bit
wall.
of debris there, but that is just hard, fair racing in my
Reaction time,
opinion.
0.14 Russell, 0.24 Verstappen. So there we go. Oh, God.
Big one, wasn't it?
I can understand why Verstappen...
Oh, we've got a freeze.
Back out.
He's broken the suspension though, Jess. So the rear says they've sent the car out knowing it's damaged.
And he's slowing down. Oh, it's going to be a safety car.
That car is crabbing more than when I do the conga in a line at the family parties.
That's going to be investigated for and probably a fine or some sort of penalty. It's going to be some sort of penalty for releasing a car in an unsafe condition.
Yeah, I mean...
Because they gave the sign saying it's done.
Thing is that this isn't a full safety car either, guys. This is virtual, so it's not like the field's backed up. The wheel's been got out of the way, by the way, and the debris been cleared. So good use of the virtual. But now we've got Tsunoda.
Noted.
Ah, yeah, I thought so. It had to be.
Released in unsafe condition. It was not safe
Safety
at all.
car, full safety car.
Well, he's stopped on the track, hasn't he? All this debris that they can't... that debris still there. They can't pick up... That can't be picked up even under a safety car. It'll have...
Red flag. They got to red flag, for goodness sake.
This is
red flag.
Do you remember back in 2017, the debris on this track caused punctures? It caused the red flag in the end after 2 safety cars back to back. I've lost the guys in the cotton box now. But honestly... Alpine getting ready for a pit stop. May as well. This is just getting crazy. We never had a red flag in the sprint race before. As we're waiting for the timings to get back as they come through. I've just received a text message.
The lights on the safety car aren't... There we go. As soon as the cars get there, they turn the lights on.
Hello. They weren't there, were they? Yes, that was very dangerous. I was just saying before, because the internet dipped in and dipped out again, 2017, the debris on the track caused safety cars. This should be a red flag. And we're wasting sprint laps. We're on lap 3. Are we? Are we on 3 or 4? 4.
We're on that. Well, the thing is, on the T feed, it's going down, incrementing down
Oh, no.
instead of incrementing up.
Just waiting for the balance shift. How do you think?
What?
Verstappen's picked up damage.
Drive into the side of... I don't understand how he can keep the position and he's damaging my car. It's find it ridiculous.
It was a tiny bit of debris, Max.
Yeah, it's not George that caused the problem. He's run over debris on the circuit. That's caused the floor damage. And he touched the wall himself. Max has got to learn. You can't attack every position. George at the right to the space. And Tsunoda's coming back into the pit lane now, crabbing. Well, this is...
Oh, yeah, but Tsunoda's got to come in. Oh, what's he doing?
They've wasted a set of tyres too, because these are brand new mediums and they're going to get chewed up. So he's not got no mediums left for tomorrow. And Tsunoda already doesn't have any softs. So he's only going to have hard tyres to run tomorrow. Tsunoda may as well just leave.
And you have to run a different tyre compound.
That's true.
So is he going to get disqualified tomorrow?
Yeah, I think he might actually.
There we go.
Yeah, unsafe release condition, had to be.
Will be investigated after the race, for those of you that are not watching the TV pictures but watching this. So, yeah. Unsurprisingly.
It had to be. It just had to be.
Yeah.
It's going to take the whole sprint race by the looks of things, if that's the case.
So where's the red
Why
flag
is
then?
this the first time we've seen this camera this weekend?
That's a great camera. Right,
That is a great camera.
Megan signing off the MotoGP. Congratulations, I believe. I don't know. I can't see who won it.
Very calm.
I'm going to predict it's Bagnaia because the live camera says it. I can't see it.
Oh, it isn't.
Who won the sprint for MotoGP?
Brad Binder.
Binder! Good boy. Second win. Oh, hang on. The Delta screen's got wrong. We've got a red flag.
No.
No.
The clock.
Even F1's gone wrong as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I was going to say.
Back to safety car.
Let's hear from this will be a red flag from Hamilton.
Yeah, debris gone. It's clear.
Yeah, I think this will be the last lap.
Thanks for that.
Of the safety.
Okay, so the debris is gone according to Lewis. So Tsunoda's back in the pit lane. I saw one of the mechanics though, guys, go T. Right, let's go over to Ted.
Well done to him, I suppose, for making it back, but that will be at least a fine and maybe even a sporting penalty for tomorrow's Grand Prix for AlphaTauri for absolutely replacing, sending him back out in an unsafe position. There you can see.
Watch the mechanic with the tyre.
The chief mechanic having a look at it with the yellow helmet, saying it's okay. Well, yeah, you can have a look at it for a couple of seconds, but then there's not all that much detailed analysis you can do enough to send him out. But I guess they'll have to argue their case with the stewards. Say again, Karun?
Sorry, we just got a shot of him leaving the pit lane, and you could see the wheel askew as he left the pit box.
So why didn't they stop him?
Why didn't they? That's
no clue.
It's stopped everything. It's cost everything there. Right, we're ending the MotoGP stream because it's all finished there. Hopefully Megan's going to come to me, and she is here. Brilliantly. Well, we've got a safety car. I may as well offer her this microphone. And just a little... Hello, Megan. We've got that microphone, so we may as well ask you. How was...
What happened? Do you know,
So
I
Nadia's
had
wheel.
3 people
AlphaTauri
crash.
stupidity.
Oh, sorry, here you go. Your mic's not plugged in, but here's your headphones. Go on.
I had 3 people crash in mine, and we didn't go to anything like this. No, we just dealt with it. We had a bike doing cartwheels.
Blimey, you've had a really eventful race, haven't you?
Yeah. Alish.
Alicia Spargo crashed.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh,
and his car decided.
In the engine?
Right.
Well, I was going to say.
It's the cut in the engine for Charles Leclerc. That's going to be good. Safety car's coming in this lap.
His bike decided to do cartwheels without him.
And he's on pole for tomorrow's race, Alish.
I'm watching the highlights
Yeah.
definitely to see that.
Sounds like a fun one. Right.
It definitely was.
Well, Megan, happy birthday for tomorrow. Do you want to take this?
I want to know what happened.
Tsunoda hit the wall, and the tyre went in the middle of the track again, like in Australia.
Where's Tsunoda?
And there was no red flag.
Oh my.
Well, here we go again then, folks. Time to go green here in Azerbaijan. You may as well stay for the restart. You can disappear.
Yeah, I'll stay for that.
Yeah.
And it started as a virtual and then went to a full.
Yeah, it started as virtual after no red flag or anything. Now we have green flag. But this is the crucial bit. This restart procedure is what we all like to see because they all take it to the line. And look at that, they're all going 2 by 2. Azerbaijan restarts are legendary. Leclerc taking them as long as possible with Perez, Russell, Verstappen there too. The field bunching up. Are we going to see a crash like in Mugello all those years ago? And away goes Leclerc, away goes Perez, and the field just about keep together. No sign of a crash in the back. And now look at that. Again, Verstappen is alongside George Russell before the line. Russell's alongside Perez down towards turn 1. Perez keeps second. Verstappen goes on the inside. Hamilton makes a break. And Sainz nearly hits the back of Russell. Cuts across Hamilton. Through goes Alonso. couple of years ago by Ocon.
Nice Taylor Swift puns.
Thank you. I'm liking those too. Good restart.
Do you know something that happened during that race? I need a drink.
Yeah.
That's how much I was commentating.
All right, thanks, Meg. See you later.
That's rare for me.
Good work.
I felt like I was commentating on horse race.
Good work. Thanks, Meg. MotoGP sprints out like that. Well, there you go. That's your birthday present. I don't need to buy you anything else. All right, thanks, Meg.
So Verstappen's up to third and overtaken Russell.
Yeah.
Alonso's now up to sixth and overtaken Hamilton. They've gained a few positions. Ocon's pretty much staying where he is.
This is Verstappen,
so there's Verstappen on Russell, by the looks of things. I think Sainz is going to get Russell as well. So Russell was boxed in, but into turn number 1.
Oh, that was close. Russell did incredibly well not to go in the wall there because he got Sainz tapping his back as well.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing backing out there because there would have been even more issues. But Leclerc leads the field away. And so far, all clean. Pretty much 14 minutes gone, and we've only done one green racing lap.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's made a very contact.
That is what the hour's for.
Yeah, how long we got left in that hour? 45 minutes, yeah.
45 minutes, yeah.
And look at this again, Perez right on the back of Charles Leclerc. Is that Ferrari engine powerful enough? DRS will be activated this lap as well with the new regulations coming into effect. Is Hamilton going to have a go on Fernando Alonso as well? No, nothing there as well as they come through. Alonso's got to keep it very calm. He doesn't want to do anything that could put himself in the wall. He's got to remember, he's been on the podium, 3 times this season, the opening 3? Can he do it in a sprint race as well as Perez attacking the back of Leclerc as they come into turn 4?
Yeah, as I think Perez is finding even more time on Leclerc that lap, even though Leclerc just set a purple first sector just now. So I think people are starting to find a bit more rhythm as well. So we'll see the consistent lap time start to develop as well. Don't forget, a Red Bull is very good on the straight line. Better race pace compared to Ferrari. So it's good to see Charles Leclerc fighting for position. Matthew Gallagher clinching his fifth right now. Same with Omi as well, because Omi's a big Ferrari fan, as he keeps talking about that.
Yeah, he doesn't stop us telling about it either, and that's why he was in the practice box in FP1 to have a go at Josh as well for slating Ferrari and Charles Leclerc on the opening lap of the race in Australia as well. Did he just about recover from that? Yeah, he's ducking out the screen now as well.
I hide.
Leclerc leads, but it's only by 5/10. DRS is activated now, so here we go. This is going to be the run that Perez needs. Can he get the lead away from Leclerc? Don't forget, it is 8 World Championship points for a victory in the sprint race as well. Now Leclerc down towards turn number 1. Perez opens up his rear wing. It's 477 metres before the braking point as well. Perez goes to the inside line to turn 1. Nice on the brakes as well. Leclerc can't cut back. He'll have the activation though down towards turn 3. It's not over yet. 10 to go. But Perez once again here in Baku hits the front. Now it's Leclerc's turn to get the DRS out of turn 3. And can he have the run to get a move? Look, Perez immediately checking where the Ferrari is. He's going to use all his ERS power as well. Down the straight. Leclerc looks to the inside line, but I think he's too late to the braking zone. It's too short a straight.
But if Leclerc does win this, if Leclerc comes in top 3, which no doubt he will double his points. That's how many points Charles Leclerc has. Currently has 6, which means if he gets more than 6 points today, he will double his points.
He only has 6 points?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. This is lap 1, and this is the Russell and Verstappen battle that I incorrectly called as Hamilton because I got too excited with myself because I'm used to them. But Russell was just fair game, wasn't he? It's Verstappen actually trying to force it away.
It was a bit of a touch
there.
That's the contact Max is complaining about.
Yeah, and then look, Max touches the wall.
He hit the wall himself. It wasn't Russell.
Yeah, he hit the wall at 4. And let's hear on the radio. Oh, he's complaining again.
Lovely job, Max. Without contact as well. Nicely done.
Oh my God.
Oh, Max and his engineer just sound like 2 cocky schoolboys smoking at the end of school. And it's like, you can't tell me what you do, teacher, and all that. It's just like, it's the usual cocky upper class schoolboys, and it just gets on my nerves so much.
It does.
And, yeah,
and even the FIA would have investigated it by now, and they haven't investigated it.
Yeah. Although I must admit,
Well-
there's two sides of Max, isn't there? There's this cocky side, and then there's the side where he's hugging Penelope and playing and being a great stepdad. And I think that's the great thing about Max. There are two sides, but he needs to rein in that arrogance that he's got when racing. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, well, it's Red Bull currently acting like Criball right now, but
Perez actually acts a lot better though than
Yeah.
Verstappen.
I wonder if we'll
Well,
be. Hang on, sorry. I wonder if we'll be liable if we continue dissing Red Bull.
Oh yeah, we got to be impartial.
I'm just throwing about all the puns. After what they sent me as a season launch stream, which was glitchy as hell, didn't fix it. I'm up for anything. As Piastri is in 10th. He's passed Lando Norris.
Two more places and you're getting the point.
don't want Red Bull boycotting us, so we have to say everything is the best about Red Bull.
Comically enough, when I was in Barcelona a couple of years ago for that pre-season testing, Red Bull was the only team that would talk to me when I was doing my pit walk. So that was quite nice. And they showed me the steering wheel as well, so that was quite nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, they were very kind, actually, yeah. Now, Perez has got a second already to Leclerc, and Leclerc and Verstappen are closing together now. So this is Verstappen to make it a Red Bull 1-2, and then we can all go to sleep.
And it'll be the result tomorrow.
Yeah. It's the same grid, effectively, because Leclerc got pole twice.
Yeah.
We're just going to sit twiddling our thumbs, aren't we? Such a shame. It starts off as a great sprint.
And now it's gone a bit quiet at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, you had to say it,
Right.
didn't you? You said the Q words.
I cannot do my producer power of disconnect you because that mess up stream. But if that happened while we were in the watch party, you would have got the boot.
Didn't you say, Jess, didn't you say that in Saudi Arabia, and then Verstappen about 2 minutes later had an engine failure?
Didn't have any. Yeah,
in qualifying.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, in qualifying, yeah.
That's probably why that word has been banned now.
Right, Christian Horner
That
doesn't like
word
it.
has always been banned.
I didn't know that.
Do you know, they've resurfaced this track this season as well. It's a brand new surface.
Yeah.
And yet, we can still see the original paint lines at the castle section for the corner. Because the FIA just come back every year and repaint it. Because they're not happy with it. Really
I mean, we are talking about the FIA.
Yeah. It's safer, though. Stops them getting launched into the pit wall. Dino Nat says, somebody call the Red Bull Wambulance. Wambulance. I'm now just thinking of that scene in Modern Family with Lily as Box.
Norris, box.
Whoa, now what ties? Norris on soft, so maybe the mediums are the call. Maybe he can't do anything. But this is actually heating up now because Verstappen's closing in on
And
Leclerc.
Those were used as well because he couldn't participate in Q3.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So his tires
SQ3.
are dead then, aren't they? So he's going to pick... what's happening
Keep
further
an eye on
back?
Bottas then.
Yeah, what's happening further back? This is where all the drama is because we've got side-by-side action, as you say, Bottas, Gasly, De Vries, Ocon all getting involved, and Ocon showing around the outside of Gasly. That's a little bit close to call into turn one. Ocon stays ahead.
Norris might have a problem, I don't know.
Ah, right. Well, I'm sorry to my friend as well, who is a Lando Norris fan. Who's what? Oh, no, he's got going on medium compound tires. So it is just a change over from softs to... It must have been a slow puncture or something from debris. Let's take a look at Hülkenberg.
Yeah.
What's this from Nico? This is a view... Oh, this is Lando. Does he hit Lando?
It's Hülkenberg and Lando.
Yeah, so Hülkenberg on the inside, on the visor cam. Lando was on the outside. Maybe there was contact and we didn't see it on that camera? Must have been something, but that's put Lando out of contention. 19 started, down to 18. As Leclerc's kicking the backside out of those medium tyres coming out of turn number 15, and Verstappen closing him in. It's never good when Charles Leclerc is in a sandwich. He always ends up crashing.
It's really not good when when Charles Leclerc's in a sandwich, because like what happens when you have a sandwich, the sausages always fall out and crash.
I could do it. Just, I'm going for a carvery after this for Megan's birthday and all her party stuff as well. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've not eaten today, I haven't had a chance, so I'm really hungry.
We're watching Stroll there.
Stroll on the inside! The tyre's starting to melt, says Bottas, but Lance Stroll does a didgeridoo.
That's why Norris changed.
Yeah, so he's doing a didgeridoo on the inside and gets ahead of Alexander Albon, who's now out of the points position, but soft tyres starting to melt.
Yeah, then
oh my god, no, Albon's fighting back! Sorry, Albon's fighting back! We're in the braking zone backside of it. Come on,
yeah,
come on,
this is a good battle, but you fancy being fancy with your carvery, and I'm just here with some beautiful loaded fries. I think that will do.
Well, the paint, well, if they do end up rubbing, I think the green paint might look good on the blue Williams. This is Magnussen passing Hulkenberg into turn 3.
Yeah, that's not going to be a battle just in case the two collide there. That's just a let through it looked like. But Leclerc now out of DRS, but now right on the brink of it, 1,000th.
He's got it.
To be exact.
Now the detection point is on the entrance to turn 20. So down the straight, he's just dropped out of it now again. They're both so close to that detection point. Did anyone notice the little puff of blue smoke out of the back of Magnussen's car? That's what I noticed on that replay.
I noticed that as well. Hey,
oh, Leclerc's got it.
Leclerc's going to try and go. Hope he's not.
He'll close it down to around about 0.5 of a second. That's what we're seeing in the F2 into the braking zone. It's a lot closer than 0.6, yeah. So now we'll have the DRS coming into... Oh, Verstappen! Very wide out of turn 1. I think he just about avoided clipping the wall, but he had a massive oversteer moment. And look at that, he's dropped 0.2 to Leclerc. So a big kick for Verstappen out of turn 1.
Yeah, that wasn't good for Verstappen. Verstappen will most likely, and Ocon's coming in for a box. Ocon is changing to the
alternate
softs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Ocon's in the back anyway. He's in 17th.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
Joe passes Hulkenberg. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and Gasly passes Hulkenberg as well. So Hulkenberg dropped 2 positions in a matter of seconds. Is Hulkenberg going to come into the pits? I think he's already passed it. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
But Max Verstappen's going to blame that going wide at turn 1 on George Russell. Let's be honest.
Blaming George Russell is the new.
Blaming on Lewis Hamilton.
Yes, I was going to say Ericsson hitters, but I agree with that one more. Up the castle section. I'm surprised, that in all the years we've had a race here in Baku, we've only ever had one car go into the tyre wall in the castle section. That was in Formula 2.
And Leclerc.
Oh,
yeah. I was on about in a race. In a practice session, everyone's done it.
Right, okay. The Red Bulls, by the way, are absolutely on fire. 1 and 3, and the top 3 are a class there ahead of the rest of the field. I have to say, that's not looking good on side with Leclerc being so much faster than him.
B-Real's gone off, so let's take a good B-Real, shall we, with the cars on the straight. Take a smile. There we go. Talk through smiling, try and do that. Say cheese. Well, oh, you can now post more than 1 B-Real. Oh, well, that's... Yeah. Now
Let's do another one.
Yeah. You can post 2
anyway,
in a day.
this is the Alpha Tauri of, I believe, D3's on Bottas.
Yep.
That's the 15th lower down in the order. Leclerc dropped 1.5 seconds back to Perez, now 1.729 and dropping.
They're really going to have to push this all together now, aren't they, as well? Soft tyres have not worked. So I'd say that's one thing, Jess, that we know, that everyone's going to start on mediums tomorrow and not try and use the softs. So we're not going to see the soft tyres.
Yeah, who is on softs at the moment?
Bottas Ocon.
Bottas Ocon.
Ocon. Everyone else. Why would you want to start on softs in a sprint? There's 17 laps and it doesn't last that long in a sprint race.
Especially not here.
Try doing that on the F1 game. It won't work.
Bottas started Ocon switched a couple of laps ago.
Do you know, this is going to shock Jess, but I've never done a sprint race on F122.
Have you not done a sprint race format, even in career mode?
No, not in career mode, not in commentary, not on my own, nothing. Never done it.
WR?
No, not even WR. No.
There's none in PSGL. Yeah, I've done a few for my own league racing, and there's one league I commentate and race on as well that also does it. One-shot qualifying, because qualifying otherwise takes too long. So you do one shot.
Never done it. I would like to, but never have. So we'll have to.
I always get unlucky during sprint races.
Yeah.
Always do. I tend to qualify better in sprint races with one shot, but anyway.
I suppose the game's going to be longer now this year if they've included these changes into it. Let's hear from Gunter Stein, who's on the pit wall.
In the moment, but in the end, this is good information for tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's
looks like it's going to be
De Vries passing Hülkenberg into one.
To go in the sprint. Well, it points towards a two-stop race, doesn't it?
Maybe the graining clears. I mean, but you can see Kevin hasn't got an issue, so we need to see what is the difference, because Kevin is going pretty strong in the moment. He's putting his fastest laps in, as fast as the people in front of him are faster.
Yeah, good point. Gunter, thanks ever so much indeed.
Gunter Steiner there as well as the racing continues. We've got 3 laps to go in the F1 sprint, and I suppose now actually that we can do this commentary box. I forgot about Ed. Oh, we'll get Ed in for the race tomorrow if he's around.
That'll be good. It'll be good to get Ed. That means I have to that means I have to fix the cameras around.
Oh no, we'll get him to disappear so it doesn't affect it.
Oh, right, okay.
Shall I let Ed know or not yet?
He's probably watching. Hi Ed. I'll let him know later once I figure it out, because he might not be around. Might have him on like IndyCar.
He would be in the chat, to be fair, or he may be doing something else.
Yeah.
Don't forget Formula E on next weekend. Ed Hunter's back in the commentary box. Monaco. Yay.
That's going to be very fun. I'm looking forward to that. And me and him can have a moan about how much he's leading the grid network, grid ranking standings as well. And I'm languishing around 5 points back from him. At least I never picked Perez. Who did I pick for pickup? I think I picked Verstappen to get the sprint race win.
I picked Russell for the sprint.
Oh, you're getting close. You picked Leclerc?
Yeah, because I asked for our predictions in the pre-show.
I have lost this one badly with Verstappen. He's third. Is this a sign of things to come? Verstappen won the season opener, round 1. Perez won round 2. Max won round 3. Is Perez going to do the double and win round 4? I think.
Or maybe, blah.
Well, that technically it's round 4 race has not happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Might pick a winner tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna lose, but I've only picked it for one reason.
I'm just trying to think actually. Have we actually got a system where we're going to have more than this sprint format? Like, I'm just trying to think if we're having it at any other racetrack that could be similar to Baku in terms of the long straights. Kota's the only one I'm thinking of. So this could happen at Kota.
Is Mexico doing a sprint race?
No. Qatar and America. Vegas isn't doing one. I think it's Baku. Final lap, by the way. I think
Verstappen's catching up to Leclerc.
Is he going to get in before turn number 1? That's the question. He's looking for a move on the inside. No, he's not. Sprint races this year: Baku, Austria, Belgium. Then we've got one in Qatar, one in America, and one in Sao Paulo. That's the sprints this year. Yeah. And Qatar. Oh, yeah, there's a leaf. There's a twig on the track. There's a twig on the racing line. So, and Leclerc touched it. Verstappen nearly did. But the twigs are heavy. They can rip off carbon fibre when hit at speed. So, it's a proper branch as well. So, keep an eye out for that. There's another one there where the temporary was at turn 6 and 7. Do you know, with the eyes like these, I thought COVID has actually made my eyesight better. Without glasses, I'm fine. But with glasses, so I don't get headaches, I'm spotting thousands.
I'm the opposite.
Oh, are you?
I had COVID again in December last year.
Oh, you did, didn't you? You had to take a couple off in PSG. I remember that, yeah.
No, I had to miss. I think I was meant to be racing on that Friday, but I
That
couldn't.
was it, yeah.
Yeah.
I know in one of them it
Anyway.
affected your birthday.
One of them affected my birthday. Yeah, that was in 2022 January. I've had COVID 3 or 4 times.
I don't know how you cope. I've only had it once, but I'm going to have to cut off because Perez is coming up to the line. Sergio Perez technically will become our first ever repeat winner on the streets of Baku. He won here in the main Grand Prix in 2021. He starts off this year with a sprint race win. Sergio Perez wins the Azerbaijan sprint race. Charles Leclerc holds off for second. Max Verstappen is third. Russell comes home in fourth. Sainz is fifth. Alonso sixth. And Alonso, we're seeing red at the end of that race with Sainz ahead of him. He knows that pain all too well.
People would have known Alonso could have been in trouble today after where he finished.
Oh dear.
It's not going to stop, is it?
No.
No drive of the days, I believe, in the sprint.
No drive of the days. Let's hear it from our race winner though for the sprint, Sergio Perez.
Tidy job, P1. Well done, guys. We did what we had to. Well done, them. Good job, guys. And we will get them tomorrow again.
I barely hear
I
him.
like that fighting.
Barely hear him on the radio.
Can I change my pick a winner tomorrow?
It's not locked in yet, so you can because it's a different qualifying, remember? It's locked in now.
Okay, good. Because, yeah, I think I'm going to go for the boring choice, but I'll let you know tomorrow.
Let's hear from Charles Leclerc, finished second from pole.
Very good job. P2.
Thank you. That was the very best we could do. Now we try and work for tomorrow.
Sure, and well managed.
And as Josh points out, doubles his points total in Formula One. 2 Ferraris come home.
That's just how bad it's been.
Ferrari things.
Yeah, that's just how bad Charles Leclerc's season start has been. Doubles his point in the sprint race, not even the main race. Sorry, Omi. I'm gonna have Omi coming for me now.
Charlotte.
Omi's probably gonna come in a commentary box and go, ah!
Hopefully without damage. Yeah, well done, Max, with an injured car. That was very good. Well done.
Well, actually, what I just thought of is the fact is that now that we, as Jess and me figured, well, Jess figured out this morning, and I figured out, and Josh, I think I already knew about it. Now we can hide the people not showing their cameras on the Discord call. We could literally have all the commentators in the same commentary box, i.e., Silverstone. When we know how we were talking, I know you're not going to be here, Jess, but you know how we were talking about how you're hosting that massive show where we'll have a different panel for the pre and post show, and then the commentators come in and everything.
Should we try it out for one event before Silverstone?
I was actually thinking, let's try that at Monaco.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it'd be great, because then
that would be good. By the way, I would join in a Discord called the Silverstone, but technically I'm not allowed due to our FIA rules.
Aren't you?
I don't know. We're not allowed to show cars, but we are allowed to be like in the fan zone or whatever. I could try and get myself in the fan zone, but here comes Sergio Perez on top of the world here in Baku. Can he do it again tomorrow?
I mean, Jess, I was allowed to show cars in the fan zone. It's only if you show them, in the pit lane, the paddock area, they're not allowed. So you can.
Right, okay, okay. Try that actually. I need to get some Bluetooth headphones and a mic though.
I tell you what, I was thinking about doing a special lunch show anyway, so I'll just send you off on a lunch break and give you to say, go see what's on, go on some rides. That'd be fun. We'll plan Silverstone. Wow.
That's a lot of damage that's happened.
Wow. It's like it's a sinking ship. Wow. If that was the Titanic, it would have gone.
Yeah, get me on for Silverstone before the race.
Yes. You can be our trackside reporter for that weekend. Like Josh will be next weekend. In fact, just watch what Josh does next weekend. Basically, that's what he's going to do.
I'm guessing they're talking about the incident. They don't seem too fast, do they?
Let's listen in.
Maybe a bit.
No, not fast. I think George has walked off there. Oh no! I take it they won't be streaming COD tonight.
What?
They won't be streaming COD tonight.
Why not?
Well, they've just had a falling out. There's the medals. Big, aren't they? Or are they plaques this year? I don't
Russell
know.
and Verstappen had a falling out.
Yeah, I think they've just had a row there. They'll be fine. It'll blow over. It'll blow over. It always does. I hope it does anyway. Driver's getting weighed. Charles Leclerc walks in. Right, when did the interviews crop up? I am going to leave it on Sky till the medals, and I'm going to go run and take a green screen down because my sister, her partner, and, well, my nephew technically, will be here soon. So I have to arrange that box. Naomi Schiff, starting with Max Verstappen.
Is interviewing the drivers. Let's head down to Park Fermé.
Max, congratulations. 6 points in the bag today. We heard you quite frustrated in that opening lap. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that? We saw you talking to George there. Has that been clarified?
No, it's not clarified, but I just don't understand why you need to take so much risk. You know, in lap 1, you understeer into my side pod, create a hole. We all have cold tires. You know, it's all easy to lock up, but you know, in this beautiful way of explaining, oh, mate, you know, locked up, or look at the onboard. Well, it doesn't make sense, but it's fine. We still got into P3, got some good points, but yeah, it's what it is.
Now, we saw there was a little bit of contact with you and the wall, you and George as well. Did that create any damage on your car? Was that part of the reason
No,
it was
not the wall,
difficult
but
to get?
just turn 2, I think, where he tapped me.
Okay, so did that create any damage that maybe made it harder to get
there's a
past
hole
Charles?
in the side pod. Doesn't look that great, but I mean, it's what it is now, and we'll focus on tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
is that? Thank you. Thanks.
Charles, congratulations. Only 7 points today. Unfortunately, not a win here for you today. But you're still starting on pole tomorrow. Was there something you could learn from that race today to hopefully put you in a better position for tomorrow?
Well, I mean, we cannot change the car, so of course you can work a little bit here and there on flap, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it confirms a little bit what we thought. The Red Bull still has the upper hand in the race, but we again must not forget how far we were behind in race pace 2 races ago. So we did a step forward. We are still not where we want to be. But as I said, if winning is not possible, then we just need to take the maximum point. And today there wasn't anything more. So happy with the 2nd place, and we'll try and go for the win tomorrow, even though the Red Bull seems a bit quicker.
Besides Sergio getting past quite easily in the DRS zone, were you expecting to be able to stick closer to him around the rest of the lap, possibly?
Well, I did not know what to expect. I didn't fight too much Checo because I just wanted to try and keep my tires. I knew this was our weak point. I tried to stay within the DRS of Checo, so he could pull me on the straight, but that wasn't enough. We were losing a little bit too much towards the end with the degradation. So let's see what's possible to improve tomorrow, and we'll give it all.
Okay, well, congratulations and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now, oh, no, sorry, there's still one more driver. Sergio Perez.
Checo, congratulations. It's another win around here for you. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, it was good, you know, with these tricky sessions, and it's been a lot of pressure put on us, on our teams, engineers, mechanics, drivers. So to get away with maximum points today was the main objective, but obviously we know that tomorrow is the main race.
You're starting a little bit further down the grid tomorrow in 3rd. How much is that going to make a difference? You know, this was our first session with a proper long run. How much did you get to learn about your car in these conditions?
Yeah, we were able to learn a bit, but obviously tomorrow we're going to be on a much higher fuel loads. Track conditions are going to be different, but yeah, I think there is good learning today, and yeah, P3 is not ideal for tomorrow's race, but I will give it a go and fight for the win.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. Well done again.
And there's the plaque now presented to Sergio Perez for winning. Drivers' Championship then, Max Verstappen leads on 75 points, Perez on 62, Alonso 48, Hamilton on 40, Sainz 24, Russell 23, Stroll 21, Leclerc 13, Norris 8, Hülkenberg 6, 4 apiece are going down. That was the top 10 all I had time for. Podium ceremony now taking place, and here's your results then from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix sprint. And it is Sergio Perez winning with Charles Leclerc second, Max Verstappen third, George Russell fourth, Carlos Sainz fifth, Fernando Alonso sixth, Lewis Hamilton seventh, Lance Stroll eighth, Alexander Albon ninth, and Oscar Piastri rounds out the top 10. Magnussen 11th, Zhou 12th, Gasly 13th, De Vries 14th, Hülkenberg 15th, Bottas 16th, Norris 17th, Ocon 18th, and out of the race, Tsunoda as well. And not taking part, but he still stays there in 20th, was Logan Sargent, not De Vries, who's not there twice. Well then, Jess and Josh, start with you, Jess. What did you make of the first sprint of the year? That's a badly damaged Red Bull, actually. We didn't actually see how bad that was on the side of the track.
Apart from the start, not really much has happened really for Baku's sprint race, which was quite surprising. But yeah, it's really damaged car for Max Verstappen. I'm going to predict that I might pick the winner at the moment. It may change tomorrow. I might pick a winner because Verstappen's going to start P2. I think Verstappen is going to take the win tomorrow.
Might pick a winner as well. What about you, Josh? Who's going to win tomorrow? What do you think of the sprint?
I mean, currently I've got Alonso, but I might change. I don't know.
Alonso only finished 6th.
True, so yeah, I might change it to Verstappen.
At least Megan might not have to come in the box tomorrow on her birthday if Alonso doesn't win, but stranger things have happened here in Baku. Well, my thanks to Jess, my thanks to Josh, my thanks to Megan also for doing everything else today. We're done. Apart from IndyCar, that's coming up later. Don't know if I'm commentating on it with Josh yet or it's going to be the World Feed Radio, but we'll see. Either way, IndyCar qualifying at 8:40 tonight as well. My thanks to you, Jess. My thanks to you, Josh. My thanks to all of you. Let the party begin, but only tiny, because tomorrow it's the grand event. The grand prize of Azerbaijan will be up for contention with Charles Leclerc on pole position once again, with Max Verstappen alongside. What will happen? Time will tell tomorrow. Bye-bye.